Hey guys, BlueCommander here and welcome back to another video. So in today's video I've got something pretty cool to share with you. So the other day I was looking around trying to find if there was a way to give a player their own head without knowing their IGN necessarily, so it worked with all players. And I didn't really know how to do this because there was no documentation online or anything like that. There was no tutorials on how to do it. But luckily on the Commands Discord, there's a link to that in the description by the way if you want to check it out. It's actually really helpful. They've got some really knowledgeable helpers, and I asked on there, not really expecting to get a response, people telling me it wasn't possible. But actually someone surprised me, one of the helpers, and they told me that there's actually a loot table which can do this. So I don't know much about loot tables. I'll chuck the loot table I used on the screen if anyone wants to check it out and use it for themselves. But it basically uses a built-in loot table function, and just to prove how badly documented that this was, it wasn't even on the official Minecraft wiki list of loot table functions, so I really don't know how they expected people to know it. I really don't know how that person knew it, but I mean, props to them. So I wasn't actually going to make a video on this because I thought, I didn't discover it. I don't want to claim that I did it myself or anything like that. But after realizing how it really helped me, I thought it might actually help some other people, as it's noticed there doesn't seem to be any tutorials, so I thought I'd make one for myself. Something important to note for this though is that it does only work for the 1.14 snapshots, because the built-in function was only added in the 1.14 snapshots. Being able to get the player's head is really useful, so today I quickly threw together a data pack in this world, which is also linked on my website in the link in the description if you want to check it out, and it has some uses I thought of which you could potentially use player heads for, which is more than just giving them their player head. So I won't be explaining all the functions in a great amount of detail, but I'll be giving a brief description on how they work. But if you want to know in more detail, just download the data pack and have a look for yourself. So let's begin. Something important to mention before we begin is literally just today someone else has uploaded a function library with lots of the things I'll be showing you in this video. I'm definitely not accusing this person of copying me, as I didn't disclose that I was working on this, but I just wanted to let you know that I didn't copy him and I made this several days ago. So check out his video after you've watched this, and yeah, back to me half an hour ago. Okay, so first off I quickly do /reload, and then I'll find that the message pop up to tell me that my player head tricks data pack has been installed. So now we've done that, let me just go into my little really badly built tent here, and I'll quickly look at these signs for a reminder. So the first thing this can do is it can drop the player head. So you don't actually need the functions or data pack for this. All you need is just the loot table, which I guess you need a data pack for, but my point is you don't need any functions for this. All you need to do is, once you've set up a loot table, which if you want to use on a different data pack, you can just copy it from my player head tricks data pack, and then just want to do /loot. You can do spawn, you can do any of these really. So I'll just do give for example, and then my name, blue PvPs, and then loot. I'll just need to type in the data pack name, so player head tricks UUID test I called it. And as you can see, it puts my player head straight into my inventory. I can also summon it as an item, so I can do spawn here, like so. If I just sub a couple of blocks below me, as you can see, my head's now on the floor. So that's really useful in itself. But after thinking about this and using it a bit more, I realised you can use this for more than just giving players that head. So I can't really prove that it's giving me my specific head, but trust me, I don't have anyone else online, but if you had a different skin, it would give you your skin. So yeah, I also created a function just for this called create head item. So if you run this, it just gives you your head. I just thought I'd put it into function form so it's more consistent with the other functions I'm going to be showing you, I guess. So once I've done that, we can then go to my second one, which is I actually created a function to place the player head. So if I just go back into my jungle area here, I can do /function create head block. So if I run this, as you can see, it's got my actual head block on the floor. So how this works is it does the same as player head item function, and by the way, all the player head item function does is literally just run a command like this, loot spawn. So what this one does with the block is, first of all, it set blocks an empty player head item on the position you executed it, and then it also summons the item, so imagine that's there, and then it executes from this item. It basically transfers all of the texture onto this block and then kills the item again. So I haven't gone into too much detail with data modify, it's the new 1.14 data sub command I guess you'd call it. But literally I've been having so much fun with this. There's so much you can do with it, and it seems to not be used too much. I'm not going to go into it in this tutorial. I might have a tutorial in itself on that because it's so useful. But just all you need to know for a data modifier is it's transferring the MBT of one thing to another. So in this case I transferred the data of this texture straight into this and then killed this item. So I'll quickly do /data get entity @s selected item. And as you can see, this is all the texture here. It's under skull owner. So this is what I transferred. So that's all block does. The only bad side to this function is it only goes one direction. I didn't really create these for actual using. I kind of use it more like a proof of concept, like a little test for you to check out. If you wanted to use it yourself, I'm sure you could adapt it better than I did. So number 3, we have make entities wear the head. So this is another thing which uses several commands in the function. If I do /function, as you can see, I've got a ton of head-ons. So head on arms down. Every entity that can wear a head, I've got a little function for here. And if I run it, as you can see, it summons it with my head. So this will work with all the mobs I created a command for. So stray, I don't know, just do a drowned. So yeah, it completely works. What this does is quite similar. What you could do is you could set the entity to persistence required, and then summon the item and I automatically wear it. But I didn't actually try that because it's also got things like armor stands which don't have persistence required. So what I did is very similar to what I did with the block. Yet again, it's data modify. What I did is it transferred the item, which is summoned on the floor. Let me quickly do that. So it summons it on the floor, and then it transfers all of the texture into the head, into the helmet layer on all these entities, and then it kills this item again. So lastly, in this little tutorial here with lots of different helpful things, you can also summon certain tame mobs with this. So little backstory here. This is actually what I was originally trying to do. So if I summon a wolf, for example, oh, he's getting a bit angry at the skeleton. Don't know why wolves hate skeletons so much, but we'll go back up here. So if I do data get entity, so that's just going to get this wolf right by me here. And there's going to be a little tag here called owner UUID. So that's actually what defines whether they're tamed or not. So if I quickly tame this one here, and I do it again, as you can see, owner UUID is now my name. So this also applies to parrots. I don't know if I think they're the only two entities it applies for, but parrots also have the exact same tag, owner UUID. But the trouble is with players, if I do get entity @s UUID, it doesn't actually have the UUID. All it has is the UID least and most. That's what it stores in player data, which you can't actually use for this scenario. So what I needed is a way of getting the UUID, but luckily if I summon a player head, or I'll just give myself a player head, that'll do, if I find the command in my history. There we go. Luckily if I do this though, and do data get entity @s selected item, as you can see, not only as the texture, but player heads also store the name UUID. So as you can see, if I do this and then I go find my tamed dog, it's here. If I do this, his UID, owner UID is BDE and then some more numbers. If I go up here, as you can see, it's the exact same. So this is the only way in Minecraft to actually get a player's UID. All you have to do is execute from them, summon their player head, and then you can transfer yet again using data modify. I transfer this item's UUID from the texture straight into this dog's owner tag. So using this function, I can do /function summon tame dog. I'm just going to summon several tame dogs for me. I can also do a parrot, and now I have some parrots which can sit on my shoulder if they don't run after that. So yeah, as you can see, there's actually two uses for this mainly. These kind of come under one category, and these are using the texture. But then you can also have this like second category, I guess, which is using the UUID. So as you can see, this is really useful. Like I said, I'll leave a link to it in the description. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Bye.